Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we're going to talk about the Cowboys looking into the crystal ball, bro. So this is serious. You know what time it is, baby. Top 5 good and bad predictions for the Cowboys. We're going to talk about the good. Let's look into this crystal ball and see where this team can go and what it's going to take to go to that next level. You know what I mean? Cowboys had a good season in 2021. You want to see them take that next step, come out guns a-blazing, and continue the ascension. Okay, that's how you build a program. You don't do good 1 year in building a program and then you take 2 steps back. That was the Garrett kind of way. Under McCarthy, you expect him to be what he did with Green Bay, where he's always in contention, always in the playoffs, in fighting in the playoffs. You know what I mean? So huge year for Mike McCarthy, to say the least. So, let's look into this crystal ball and see how we get there. Okay, first one for me, CeeDee Lamb. Okay, I think what we might find out here. My prediction is CeeDee Lamb cements himself as a legit number one wide receiver. This whole offseason, it's been in pencil. It's been on paper. You know, now it's time to put it to the test. You know what I mean? We're shortchanged here at wide receiver position, but a lot of star receivers around the league don't have the good number twos, number threes. Sometimes it's just them, and then average guys around them. So CeeDee Lamb needs to be that guy who's like, I'm gonna take lead. I'm gonna show this league what I have, and I'm gonna earn that money. You know what I mean? So he's at that point, man. I did a video where I said, is CeeDee Lamb at 12? Is he at $25 million a year wide receiver? We've been seeing the wide receiver numbers go up and up and up, and you have to believe that once CeeDee Lamb contract negotiations come into play, he's gonna be in that upper echelon. But he's got to have that cementing of the number one wide receiver, and I think that is something that could happen here for the Cowboys. I think number 2 for me is going to be Tyler Smith. For the Cowboys to have a successful season, Tyler Smith is going to show promise. He's going to show that he can play solid ball. We will see some penalties probably a little early on in the season, but he will improve like rookies do during the season. Goes the same for Sam Williams, Deron Bland, all of these young guys that come into the league. You do want to see that progression, and I think for the Cowboys, they will see that Tyler Smith is able to hold it down there at the left tackle, and he will be the left tackle of the future for the Cowboys. And then you're able to figure out what you want to do at guard. Do you want to elevate Peters to be that behemoth guard, that Ronald Leary big giant guy there at left guard next to Bianish? That would be perfect. I think that would be something amazing. We'll see what Connor McGovern is. I think a lot of us have seen him kind of plateau, kind of like Biadish. But for Connor McGovern, he has to prove that he has not plateaued. Bust through that ceiling that a lot of fans think that he's hit. We think that he's hit the ceiling here, and there's no more room for improvement. Hopefully, he's able to bust through. But I think Tyler Smith is a key to this whole thing here. All right. Number 3 on my list, MICAH Parsons. He's gonna go off this season. All right, 15 sacks minimum. Okay, we know that he has the mark of breaking the record. He wants to break Michael Strahan's record, and I think that he'll have a good shot at it. You know what I mean? Cowboys are gonna use him all over the place. That speed is undeniable. It's undeniable, and there's a lot of tackles in this league that just cannot deal with that speed, and he's going to be able to leverage that speed and turn those into sacks and 3 and outs. So that's going to help the Cowboys defense immensely. Number 4 on my list, Dak's rapport with the wide receivers is going to come to light. You know what I mean? He does the wide receiver summit with his receivers. We see it every year. This year he did it in Florida. with his guys. And, you know, a lot of them were over there getting in the work with him. Uh, you know, we didn't see Dak in the preseason. We didn't see him work with Jalen Tolbert. We saw him and Tolbert have that rapport early on in camp, and some of that faded off, and we just didn't get to see it in the preseason, which is unfortunate. So, but I think that this could be a surprise. I think that you're going to see him spread the ball around. I don't think it's just going to be, you know, tunnel vision on CeeDee Lamb. I think it's going to be CeeDee Lamb, and he's going to go through the progressions, and he's going to get to the guy that he trusts. You know what I mean? So that's why some of these wide receivers, they went pretty deep here. And I think Dak Prescott had a say-so in which receivers he wanted, who he believes in could help during the season. And I think that we're going to see that during this year. Okay, so that's going to be probably a pleasant surprise for a lot of people. Number 5, we're going to find a newfound pressure from the middle of the defense, finally. You know what I mean? We haven't had a high sack person at the defensive tackle position since Jason Hatcher, and that was like 1 year, and then he went into free agency after he showed what he could do. You know what I mean? So I think you have that potential in Osa Odigizua. You know, they didn't really use him much in the preseason, so you haven't seen that yet. You haven't seen, oh, he's making that leap. Osa needs to make that leap. He needs to show it early. He needs to show it consistently and not run out of gas this year. But I think this year we're gonna find that new found pressure from the middle, and you hear it all the time. Pressure from the middle is a nightmare for quarterbacks because they can't move up in the pocket. You know what I mean? So, and that opens up, you know, sacks from the outside. So I think the Cowboys are going to bring that this year a lot more. I think it's going to be Osa. We see Quentin Bohanna really has put in the work, man, and shout out to him. Okay, so Quentin Bohanna, I think he'll be one of these guys that's a run stuffer, but he can also bring the pressure. I mean, we saw it. We did see him in the preseason. I thought Quentin Bohanna looked pretty dang good. Neville Gallimore got to show us something this year, man. He's like becoming a little bit more of this Malik Collins type of guy who's just gonna go through the rookie contract and then you're gone possibly. This is a huge year for Neville Gallimore, but I think the pressure is gonna come from, you know, the middle this year more than ever. And like I said, Osa Odigizua, I think Quentin Bohanna, and I think Tristan Hill. And we'll see if Neville Gallimore can get it going. Okay, if he needs to get it going. Okay, so now this is all, you know, sunshine and everything. These are my 5 best scenarios for how we get into the playoffs and we make a serious run. Now, you know, my channel, you got to look at the other side of the coin here. What are the 5 things, in my opinion, that could stop the Cowboys from being successful this season? I'm gonna go over 5 of them. Okay, these are my nightmare scenarios. Okay, number 1 in my nightmare scenario is gonna be the wide receiver committee does not hold up. Okay, what if this wide receiver committee doesn't hold up? It's gonna put a lot of pressure on the running game. You're gonna become one-dimensional, and you're gonna put a lot of pressure on Dak, and you know he's gonna get a lot of unnecessary blame. You know what I mean? Just like they did with Romo. So it's a cyclical situation here. We saw the Cowboys do this with Romo. You know, gave him some crappy receivers. Then they improved it. His O-line was not up to snuff. He got injured. Then they fixed it. And by the time they did, he was done. Okay, so I think in this scenario, one thing that could hold the Cowboys back and not lead to a successful season would be the wide receiver committee just doesn't hold up and it doesn't work. Okay. Number 2, what if this offensive line doesn't hold up? You know what I mean? What if we see a little bit more of an issue here with this left side of the offense plus Biadish? I think you can add him into that. What if it doesn't hold up? You know what I mean? Connor McGovern, we saw what he did last year. What if he gets blown off the line by Vita Vea here? And we're like sitting here like, oh no, this is gonna be a long year, because there's a lot of big defensive lines that we're gonna face this year, and it starts with the Bucs. So, you know, if that O-line doesn't hold up, I think that's gonna lead to a Dak Prescott injury of some sort. You know what I mean? So knock on wood, But I'm going through my top 5 doom and gloom scenario here to close out the video. So that could be one that could derail the season. The offensive line doesn't hold up. That gets hurt, similar to what happened to Roma during his career. Having a good O-line is so important in this league. You got to protect your investment. Did the Cowboys do enough to do that? We'll find out. Number 3, what if the running game is dead? You know what I mean? I think if there's not a good showing by the running game, it's going to be, you know, in concert with what I just said. If the offensive line is not good, this running game is going to suffer immensely. People might be calling for Tony Pollard, but if this offensive line it stinks, not even Pollard will be able to move this ball enough. You know what I mean? So that's number 3. What if the running game is dead? And that's because of the offensive line. So that's my number 3 doom and gloom scenario. Number 4, what if there's no real pass rush outside of Micah Parsons? Okay, DeMarcus Lawrence, will he hold up? What if he doesn't? What if he does hold up, but the sacks just don't come? You know what I mean? What if he just is that run stuffing specialist? You know what I mean? So we're gonna find out really quick. I think with Sam Williams, like I said earlier, I think you'll see that improvement. I did a video years ago talking about the average sack total for rookie defensive linemen. It's like 3.5 to 5 on the very high side there. Obviously you do have your exceptions. I mean, Michael Parsons balled out there, but what if there's not enough pass rush, and by the end of the year, here we are, like, okay, DeMarcus, he's probably done. We gotta fill this now. Either with a draft pick or free agency. But we know we don't do crap in free agency, so probably a early round draft pick. Okay, and number 5 in my doom and gloom scenario predictions. All of this that I talked about in this back half of the video probably leads to a sub 500 season. So, if the wide receiver committee doesn't hold up, if the offensive line is leaky and that gets hurt, maybe misses a few games, that's gonna put us back. And then the running game's gonna get affected. 3 and outs, you're gonna gas out the defense. So all of this leads to my number 5, which is sub 500 record for the Cowboys. So guys, let me know what you think. I want you to give me your 5 positive, the sun is shining, positive outlook. Give me your top 5 positive outlooks, and then give me the other side of the coin. Give me your top 5 doom and gloom scenarios. So I want to see what the fans are thinking right now. What you think the Cowboys are going to do this season. I want to know what's in your crystal ball. All right, let me know what you think, guys. Continue to like, subscribe, and share. And let's go, Cowboys. Let's do something this year, all right? Go Cowboys. Peace.